So today's video is going to be a foundation review first impressions slash wear test. Well, I mean, it's a first impressions. I don't like to call it like a full-on review if I'm just trying it out for the first time, but I love doing these wear tests for you guys so we can see how a foundation wears on my skin throughout the day. And today's foundation is the brand new Urban Decay Stay Naked Weightless Liquid Foundation up to 24-hour wear. I actually wanted to review the Pat McGrath foundation today, but yesterday I posted on my Instagram stories. I did a little poll and I asked you guys which foundation you wanted to see me review first, and 57% of you said the Urban Decay one. So we are doing the Urban Decay one. Now, I was really excited about this because Urban Decay used to have a naked foundation or something similar to this back in the day. I even reviewed it on my channel and I remember really liking that foundation. They no longer carry it anywhere, but when I saw this online, it kind of gave me those nostalgic vibes, and I'm super excited to try this out, and I'm hoping it works for my skin. I know it's targeted for normal to oily skin, but we're gonna test it out anyway. And I'm so excited. It's pretty much like foundation month right now. There's a new Dose of Colors foundation, the new Anastasia one, the Pat McGrath one, this one. So many new foundations coming out. I can't keep up, but I'm so excited. I love testing out new foundations. So this is what the bottle looks like. The bottle is actually very beautiful. I'm just not crazy about this weird like cut off situation. I don't know what that's about. It throws me off a little bit. I kind of wish it was just like one solid rectangle and not without this like, I don't even know what to call this. Anyway, the packaging is super cute and I'm so bummed because I had no idea they were coming out with a matching concealer. I was just looking at this online and they have a Stay Naked concealer. I would have bought the concealer so that I could test them both out today. Damn it. But that's okay. I'm actually gonna try out a different concealer I haven't used yet, but I would have liked to try the Urban Decay one. So I'm not sure if Urban Decay sent these out for PR, but I hadn't gotten it and I was getting really impatient, so I bought it online and I went with the shade 40WY, which is 40 warm yellow, and hopefully this works for me. I'm gonna start off by prepping the skin. I'm going in with my Kiehls Ultra Facial Moisturizer. I'm just gonna use this because, well, one, this foundation has a matte finish, so I wanna be very hydrated, and two, because I don't want to use any other primer that might mess with the formula of the foundation, so I'm just gonna add a little bit of moisturizer. All right, you know how these go. I'm gonna use a brush on one side of my face and a damp sponge on the other side, and we'll see which side looks better. Oh, all right. Just shut up. Even when I use a brush, I like to go in with like tapping motions because I feel like it just pushes it into the skin better. And when I go like this and I like start swiping it all over my face, that's when I'll tend to notice the little brush strokes. I mean, I don't really notice it with this brush. This brush is amazing. It's the IT Cosmetics number 77 brush. I think it was a exclusive Ulta brush, but my words rubbed off. I'm gonna add a little bit on my forehead. Just a little bit more. My gosh, the sun is so bright. I never film this early. It's 9:52 and the sun is beaming through that window. Okay, so this color actually matched me perfectly. Oh, wow, look at me. Well, actually I used the shade finder on the Sephora website. So more like, wow, look at Sephora. Okay, so this is the foundation on one side of my face. I'm sorry it's so bright, but I just want you to see what it looks like compared to this side of my face. I think it looks really good. There's only like a little bit of cakiness around my nose, and I wouldn't even call it cakiness. Like, that is me being extremely critical. It's just that anything that touches the area around my nose that's not dewy will automatically look a little bit heavy, but it looks fine to me. And then on my nose, it does look a little matte. Not matte, but you can kind of see the foundation sitting on my nose a bit. It's very subtle and I can only see it when I look really closely, but I can kind of see it. And I also feel like this might get into my smile lines the more I wear it throughout the day. But as for the rest of my face, I think it looks really nice everywhere else. I think the coverage is about medium, not super full, and the finish is really nice. It's not tacky at all. I feel a little bit of something, but that's because I'm wearing a moisturizer underneath. But I think the finish is really pretty. It's not matte, because you can kind of see the subtle glow peeking through, but it's obviously not a dewy foundation. It looks really natural. And now I'm gonna use this Dose of Color sponge for this side of my face. All right, so this foundation claims to be flexible, breathable, have a real skin matte finish, medium coverage. It's also not supposed to transfer, which is interesting. It also claims to minimize the appearance of pores, which I do agree with. I noticed that my pores did look a little bit smaller, so that's really nice. I don't really see a difference between the brush and the sponge. Like I said, this brush is just really good. And I love how it applies my foundation. So I don't feel like this side looks better. I usually prefer a sponge, but it honestly just depends. The only difference I would say that maybe this side has a little bit less coverage and it's slightly more dewy because of the damp sponge, obviously. But in terms of finish, I feel like they're the same. And another interesting thing about this is that it claims to be a waterproof foundation as well. That's super cool. I had no idea about that. I do know that this foundation claims to last 24 hours, which is crazy to me. I mean, I'm not gonna be testing it out for 24 hours, but it would be nice to see how it looks at the end of the day. And actually, I need to rush out the door right now. I have to finish up my makeup really quickly because I'm going to go to the dentist right now. I was at the dentist yesterday, but I gotta go back, and I'm pretty sure they're gonna have to use Novocaine and they're gonna have to numb my mouth because there's a situation there that they have to fix, and I petrified of the dentist, but I gotta go. Hopefully they don't wipe off all of my foundation while they're working in my mouth. I was telling Danny that I was gonna do this review before I went, and he was like, why would you do a foundation review before a dentist? Like, they're just gonna rub all of that off. And I was like, well, it claims to not transfer and to last all day, so we'll see. But anyway, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and finish up my makeup. I'm gonna do the bare minimum because I really wanna test the foundation in this video, and I don't wanna give any attention to anything else on my face. But I'm gonna be testing out the Estee Lauder Double Wear Radiant concealer. This is brand new and I'm very excited about this. And then I'm also gonna be testing out a couple new things I haven't tried. I just bought this Bareminerals Bounce and Blur blush in the shade Blurred Buff. So I'm gonna test that out. It has kind of like a creamy formula. And then I'm also testing out this super adorable It Cosmetics Lash Blowout Mascara. Look at this, it looks like a brush. Adorable, I love it. And then I'm also testing out the new Vice Stay Naked Lip Chemistries from Urban Decay. And I bought mine in the shade Heavy. So let's do this. I just had like a black dot underneath my eyes and I had to scratch it off because it was not coming off. So now I have this freaking scratch mark on my eye. Awesome. So because I'm gonna wipe off my lip product when I get to the dentist, I just know it. I'm just gonna throw this on, no lip liner or anything, just to see how it feels. Interesting. It's kind of sticky. Pretty sheer though. I don't know if I just got a sheer color or if this is a sheer formula. But I don't even know if I did much there. I feel like it's getting darker. Do you feel like my lips are getting dark? Okay, so this mascara is very fluttery and like very flirty. It does separate each lash. I'm not crazy about it. It's not like my favorite mascara, but I do like it. I'm gonna use it a little bit more to see how I really feel. But anyway, I've gotta go to the dentist now. Quick little update on the products I just used. This concealer, I don't know how I feel about it. I feel like I personally like something that has a little bit more coverage. Actually, I think the coverage was nice. I don't know what it is about this that's throwing me off a little bit. As for this blush, I really liked it. I think it's subtle but glowy and natural. It's very nice. And this lip is so interesting. It doesn't have much color, but it feels very nourishing. And it almost creates this like thick balm layer on your lips. Not thick, but it's nice. I just don't know how long this will last. But anyway, guys, I gotta go. I will do some check-ins throughout the day. It is currently 10:20. Oh my God, I had to leave at 10:30. I gotta leave right now. So far, so good. The only thing I will say is that I'm noticing, I had mentioned this a little bit earlier, but I'm noticing some dryness already around my mouth. Like I can kind of see my foundation just sitting on my chin and it's starting to sink into my lines. I'm noticing that on my forehead as well. So, I'm not crazy about that, but we'll see. Hey guys, it is currently 1:38. I've had this foundation on for a few hours, but I just got back from the dentist and let me explain what happened here. So, I don't know if you guys saw my BoxyCharm video, but in that video I mentioned that I might have to get brand new trays when I went back to the dentist, or they were gonna do those moldings in my mouth to finally get my retainers to finish my Invisalign. And turns out I didn't have to get another tray, so I had to do the molds today and I go pick up my retainers in a month, and I finally take off these cement-looking balls that are stuck to my teeth. So, obviously, when they were putting those things in my mouth, it's like this big mold that's covered in this like purple foam, and they put it in your mouth to get the mold for the retainer. And that thing is like huge. It's like this, and the girl has like her hand over your mouth. So there was a lot of rubbing in this area, and my foundation has like rubbed off, especially on my chin here. I'll zoom in a second, but there was a lot of touching right here, and Danny was right. And then it was funny because when they were done doing the mold, the girl that was there, I don't know what they're called, dental assistants, dentists also, I don't know. But she grabbed a napkin with water and started to rub my face here because I had that purple thing like all over my face. So she just grabbed a napkin and rubbed it off my chin and then got this area as well. You know what? I'm a little bit impressed with Urban Decay because she was rubbing there for a while. Like I felt her go like this several times. So I feel like it took a hot second for the foundation to rub off, but as she was rubbing it off, she's like, oh, I'm taking off your makeup, sorry. So obviously I have a giant patch missing and there's a bunch missing from my mouth. I knew this was coming, but besides that, let's take a closer look. Obviously my foundation has only been on for like 3 hours and this situation is a bummer for sure. But let's take a look at this side. I was noticing in the car that my bronzer was looking a little bit strange, and I kind of felt that way during the application, and I'm not sure if it's because of the foundation or I was just having a muddy day. Maybe I need to definitely wash this brush. It's been a minute. So that could definitely be my fault, but I was feeling like my bronzer didn't look the best, but of course that's just me being overly critical and dissecting my face. But I also didn't love the way that this foundation was looking in my forehead in this area and here around my nose. I do think that it might be just a little bit too matte for me, and I don't even know if it's something that's picking up on camera, but like even here on my nose it seems to be a little bit patchy. I don't know, I kind of feel like I see this foundation sitting on my skin a bit, and again I don't think it's anything you can really tell on camera, but I could see it when I'm up close. And actually before I got to the dentist, I parked in the car. Well, Danny parked in the car. He drove me to the dentist, but I looked at my face in the car before the incident and I felt that it looked a little bit heavy on my skin, just a little bit too matte. It was like sinking into my lines. I didn't feel like I was having an amazing foundation day. I still think it has a super natural finish and it looks like skin. Like when I look at myself a little bit far away, it absolutely looks like skin. But when I look up close, I kind of feel like my skin is a little bit too dry for this foundation. Like I don't know, I kind of feel like I need to drink some water when I look at my skin. You know what I mean? Oh my gosh. Side note, look how dark my hair is already. Like how long my roots have grown out. Like my hair is like black. It's crazy. I'm actually thinking about going light again. Not my whole head, but I'm definitely thinking I'm getting like balayage highlights around this area. Because I think my natural hair may be like too dark for me. I don't know. Anyway, I will check back in a couple of hours. Hey guys. It is currently 7 p.m. I want to say I've been wearing this foundation for about 7 hours now. I finished my makeup like around 10, right? I don't remember, guys. But this is what it's looking at right now. And actually, I like it more now than I did a few hours ago. I think now that it has settled into my skin, my natural oils are starting to come through. I actually prefer it now because I do see a subtle glow. As opposed to earlier, I felt a little bit too matte. Not too matte, I felt a little too dry. But right now, it's not too bad, actually. In fact, I thought that my forehead lines were gonna look way crazier by this time, but it's not as bad as I thought it was gonna be. And obviously I need to try out this foundation again and not completely rub it off this area because I feel like that made a huge difference in today's video, so I'm sorry about that. But the rest of my face actually doesn't look too bad. And honestly, the only area I would say I'm still not loving is my nose. It still looks a little dry on my nose, but the rest of my face looks pretty decent. I still think that my bronzer application was a little bit muddy and I still don't know what that was. And I have a pimple here. Was that there this morning? Honestly, my skin has been behaving so well recently and I don't remember having that pimple this morning. I'm gonna look back on this footage. Watch that pimple be there from the very beginning. Anyway, this is my face. Obviously ignore this part, but it doesn't look so bad on the rest of my face anymore. For it being 7 hours, my skin looks pretty decent. I'm not crazy about this concealer. I know this video is not about this concealer, but I felt like my lids and my under eyes looked a little bit creasy throughout the day. Not greasy. Crazy. So I don't know how I feel about this. I have to test it out a little bit more. And the foundation, I don't know. I feel like I'm always on the fence with these foundation reviews, but I would love to know what you think. Like you guys looking at my skin after 7 hours, what do you think? I mean, I will tell you right away, I am not blown away by this foundation by any means. I don't think it's amazing. It's not one of my favorites, but I do think it's pretty good. I'm actually gonna go work out right now, so we will see if this is waterproof. I'm really putting this foundation through the ringer today. The dentist, a workout. It claims to be waterproof, so we will see. Honestly, I feel like at this point I would normally end this video because I think 7 hours is a pretty good time to test your foundation, but we're gonna take it to the next level and I'm gonna go work out and then I'm gonna update you guys again. Hello. I'm here for my final update. So I just finished working out, obviously, and I think the foundation still looks pretty good. I mean, my bronzer is still on this side. It doesn't look as intense as it did earlier, but I've had my makeup on for like a million hours right now. It's 8:38. It's been on for quite a while, but I did notice that when I was starting to sweat, like right here, I saw the drips come down my face, and it did kind of take off the foundation there. You can kind of see it here in this area. It doesn't look the best, but I mean, it's been hours, and I went to the dentist and I worked out. So honestly, if I had to decide, I would say that this foundation is probably perfect for you if you have normal skin. I can't speak for oily skin because I don't have oily skin, but I would assume you might like this. It did not get greasy throughout the day. It wasn't slipping anywhere. It stayed in place all day. But for my skin type, I did feel like it looked a little bit dry on me. I don't think it's the worst foundation for dry skin. I just think if you do have dry skin, I would recommend going in with a moisturizer underneath, and then also possibly mixing this in with either a moisturizer or with a more dewy foundation if the staying power and the finish is something you like, because I do like the staying power and the finish. And like I said earlier, it did take her a second to like rub this part off my face. So I feel like it's a 50-50 for me. Honestly, I don't love it, but I don't hate it. I definitely have other foundations I like more than this. If I had to rate it, I would say it's 3 lightning bolts out of 5. But yeah, I'm still gonna play around with it a little bit more, and then I will update you guys in a future video. I wanna mix it in with other products to see. By the way, if you wanted an update on this, I honestly took it off the second I parked at the dentist because I knew that they were gonna be like all up in this area, and I didn't want to put it on my lips, but it did feel really comfortable. But anyway guys, that completes this video. This was my thoughts, my first impressions, my wear test on the new Urban Decay Stay Naked Weightless Liquid Foundation. I would love to know your thoughts down below. Have you tried this foundation out yet? What is your opinion? Give me your review in the comments below. And don't forget to also leave me a comment letting me know what foundation you want me to review next. Please say Pat McGrath. I still haven't received the Fenty Beauty foundation yet. I actually got DM'd. I got DM'd by Fenty Beauty, and they said that they wanted to send me their foundation, and I almost cried. I got so excited. I was gonna buy it anyway, but I'm really excited that they're sending it to me. So as soon as they send it, I will review it for you. I'm just really excited about all these new foundations. But anyway, that completes this video, guys. I love you so much. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in my next video. Bye. Like, you can kind of see the foundation sitting. Porter, don't start. But before I do